Evening, folks. Thanks for coming in. Welcome back. We sorry about the wee delay in starting. We had a wee bit of problem dragging our guest in, but he's here at last. You know, he turned up, so that's the main thing. I think that always makes a good if your guest comes up. You know, so tonight we're talking to Wayne Miles, who is just outside London, I believe. Is that right?
Yeah, I am in a place called Hersham, which is not far from Hampton Court and Kingston and all that round that way.
A beautiful bit of the country. London's an amazing city. I love London. I've been there a few times and totally love it. So how did you first kick off with the paranormal? How did you get into the paranormal, Wayne?
How did I get into it?
Yeah.
Well, I've always been... See, when I was younger, I see a couple of spirits, which I think they were spirits. But one was... I was in my old house in Cobham, it was, and I see a figure at the top of the stairs in white. And I'm sure it was my granddad. Mm-hmm. And when I told my nan and my mum about it, and that scared me, that did, because I was only 13, and I couldn't move. I froze at the bottom of the stairs, and you could see this white figure at the top of the stairs. So scary. And so it's just sharing. My wife's just sharing the thing on there. She's showing me a leg. Yeah, so, and then when I was a little bit older, we went camping in a place called Box Hill, which is in Surrey. And the same thing happened there. And I see a spirit of a woman and a child going across a pathway.
Mm-hmm.
That was scary too. So I'm just getting my wife to join us at the moment. And then, so I've always been into spirits because I've always believed in ghosts, basically. And it started from there. And then I started doing the little investigations. Even when I was younger, I did. Even when I was little. But then I started getting into it when I met up with someone called Nick Sage Hughes. And he's up in Liverpool. And I started doing on a few investigations with him. And then we started doing a few lives with him, and then I started doing it because he lives up in Liverpool and I live in Surrey, which is a long, long way. So I wanted to get into it myself. So I started doing a little bit myself. I started getting a little team together. I still go up there and go and see him and do some up in Liverpool, I will do. But, you know, I want to do my own little thing down here as well.
It's a bit of a trek for London to Liverpool. Last time I was in London, I drove back, and the traffic, I just came out of London, and the traffic was stop and start all the way near up to Liverpool. That's when I actually cleared. You know, it took me about 13 hours to drive home. The traffic was just horrendous. But, you know, that's another day. It was a long day. I'm just going to say hi to Andy, to Penny, Sarah's in the chat anyway. Angela Beep's here as well. So good evening, folks. I don't think I've missed anybody. If I've missed anybody, sorry. As you can see, I'm flying solo tonight. Everybody has deserted me. I'm here myself. So, you know, I will do my best to keep all the tech going. Nicole's here as well. So, now I've lost my guest. My guest seems to have disappeared. So, you know, bear with me, folks. We'll try and get him back. Hey, Del Shot. We see we've lost our guest, folks. I don't know why this hasn't happened before. So, as you can see, I'm here myself. I hope everybody's doing well tonight. You know, as you got Steve's here as well, Gary as well. Everybody's coming in now. Our guest leaves and everybody comes into the chat. So that's quite, you know, that's balances it out. I'm hoping Wayne will be back with me very soon because I'm sitting here myself. Everybody's deserted. Nobody wants to know me tonight. I've been dumped. I've been ceremoniously dumped. You know what I mean? Now I know what it's like to. Yvonne's in as well. Evening, Yvonne. Bear with me. I do have my phone in my hand. I'm going to try and get a hold of him. I don't know if I've got one, Shelley, but thanks very much for that, you know. Angela, he was here a wee minute ago. So tell us about your first ever experience to fill the time. Evening, Laura. Welcome, Dot. As you can see, we're guestless. We did have a guest, but he left. Maybe it was me. I think I have been set up, Penny. My first experience, and I wouldn't exactly call it an experience. It was many years ago. I could tell who was. I think I said this the other night live. If somebody phoned, the landlady, I could tell who it was and stuff like that. Today, I've never actually had an experience I can write home about. I'm just reading the comments here. I'm waiting for Wayne's name to pop up. If it doesn't pop up, then it's going to be a short live tonight. I'll tell you that. Angela Miles, what have you done with Wayne? I take it Angela's Wayne's partner, his wife or whatever. So I don't know what to say, which is unusual for me because usually I can talk the legs off a donkey. I mean, but when you don't have a guest. Hi, Kirsty, how you doing, Doc? Thanks for coming in. As you can see, we are guestless, which is a first for us. I thought people liked us. He's trying to get back on. Bless him. Good. Tell me, try harder then, Angela, because I'm sitting here myself. I've just realised I can comment as me or PIH. I don't have a clue. I think that must be Shelley. No, you don't want to hear me sing, Andy. Trust me. You do our followers and our sub count would get down the toilet basically in one go. So amused by this. Well, thanks, Shelley. I'm glad to see you enjoy seeing other people squirming in their seat. You know what I mean? Just wait till you're up here on the panel. Next. Yvonne, then, where's Wayne? That's a very good question, Yvonne. I'm wondering that myself. It was here briefly, very briefly. So I think it's going to be. I hope you like the lighting. I've been farting about this lighting for about 45 minutes before the live, and I just can't get it right. It's just not happening for me at all. This is what happens. You fly solo. Everything goes down the toilet basically when you're on your own. Because I need to handle the comments and everything else myself. But what can I say, folks? Is there anything you'd like me to talk about? Name a subject, but don't ask me to sing because there's no chance I might have got the Crumbs Cassie sing, but I am not singing. It's for the England rugby team they pulled the plug. Possibly. I don't know if Sarah can maybe advise Wayne how to get back on. There's certainly something in the mix, Craig. There's certainly something amiss. I'm just going to mail. Talk amongst yourselves. There you go. Talk amongst yourselves, and I'll try and get a hold of Wayne. Have a wee chat to see if I can get him back. This must be boring for you just sitting watching me, because there's usually somebody else up on here with me. Hi, Andy. There's Shelley kicked off the conversation. How is everyone doing tonight? You're probably doing better than me anyway. You're probably doing better than I am. So I really should learn to type quicker as well. See, I'm a one-finger typer. I can't do this with the thumbs and that on the phone. I tried it before, and it just wasn't happening for me. So it's one finger typing for me. There you go. Once upon a time in a dark wood, there was a slight breeze. We could start a Scott fan. You could, Laura. I don't know how you get many signatures on it, We seem to be sunny and chilled in Idaho, 37 degrees. I think the temperature's about 1 here, Penny, to be honest with you. I think it's 1 degrees. But unfortunately, I don't think we're going to get Wayne back. So I think we're going to have to call it a night, folks. I do apologise for this. We will get him back on another time. We will find out what the problem was. And we will get him back on for you. So, do you want me to come back on? Who's that? Who's that? Who, the one who came back on? Because everybody uses, well, our team members all use the same one. I don't know who that is. Who are you going to call? Scone Busters. Shelley, come up if you want, dog. We can have a wee chin wag. Long as you're sober. What I'm saying? Long as you're sober. Everybody can have an extra sip then tonight. I'll send you the. I don't think we're getting our guest back. I'll send you the link, Shelley, and you can come up and join me. There you go, Doc. The link is flying. He's on now. There he, we got him back just in time because I was just about to bugger off. So.
Yeah, I don't know what he was doing. I just went out to see people's comments. I tried to see the chat and it just took me off.
You left me on my own. I was trying to entertain the multitudes and I was doing an crap job here.
I apologise to everyone who was on.
You know, but they're still in chat, so, you know, that's a good thing. That's a bonus. They didn't all bugger off at the same time, so that's...
Oh, good.
So,
I'll get the missus to share it again. Because I can't share.
No, don't you press any buttons.
No, I'm not going to.
Stay away from the buttons. You know what I mean? But so anyway, you're back. We're still here. You're upstairs, Nicole. Thanks for everybody hanging about for those couple of minutes.
Yeah, thank you.
Don't press any.
Me and computers are that good. You give me an EMF or a REM pod, I can tell you what to do with it, but anything, or a ghost box, or an SLS camera.
Stay away from the buttons totally. So, where were we? We'll talk when you started.
How I got into it, yeah. So, I start when I was young, I see some spirits. And there was always like in white. So I always knew that, you know, and my nan used to tell me ghost stories. And she used to tell me about my granddad who used to come and visit her. And that's who I think visited me in the house that I was in. And then years and years ago, another thing, I was around some friends' house in Addleston and they said this place was haunted. But I couldn't pick anything up then. And I was lying on the sofa one night and I was sort of half asleep and this thing grabbed my head, but it held my head to the settee and it was freezing cold. And I mean, I've never felt anything so cold in my head and I could not move. And then as soon as this, whatever it did, let go, I turned my head round and I see this thing float up these stairs. And then in this other room, my mate and his girlfriend was lying on a camp bed thing and his missus see this thing float up the stairs. And so I've always known they've been there, but ever since then, I can sense them more now. I don't know why, whatever it did, but I can go to a place now and pick up on spirits.
Does it happen a lot to you?
What, we're seeing the spirits? Oh, a few times, yeah. I've done a couple of. So I'm not a medium, but I've done a couple of sort of like readings for people once. They said, could I pick up anything on them? And I did. And one of them, I told a friend of mine, I didn't know none of his family. I used to just meet up and have a drink in the pub, but I didn't know any of his family at all. And I told him about his auntie, and I got his auntie's name right. And I said, she used to wear like a white penny, and I got that right. And then I said, this is proof. And I said, you've got a little white cabinet by the side of your bed. And he said, how do you know that? I said, this is what she's telling me. And I said, when you get home, that clock you've got on the side of your bed is going to be on the floor. And when he got home, the clock was on the floor. freaks him out. He had to go next door and bang on next door's house because he wouldn't go in his own house for an hour. And I know it's true. He told the person he said he lived next door to, I knew as well, and they told me.
So you don't term yourself as a, you see, I'm the same. I don't term myself as a medium. Some people have called me that, but I don't believe in labeling yourself. You know, if you're something you know. All I say is people. I pick up on spirits. I pick up on. I can look at photographs. It doesn't happen all the time. You know, it's just it's a totally random thing, and I can tell you maybe. You know, for somebody else in the photograph or what's happened in, you know, in the past, maybe it's a photograph of land or something. You know, sometimes I can tell you. So a lot of people say I'm a sensitive. Maybe I am, maybe I'm not. I don't know. You know, I just tell people what I think or what I pick up. Sometimes, you know, I can go for weeks and get nothing. And then I'll maybe feel somebody standing beside me or something like that. And then that is gone as quick as, you know, it appeared. So are you similar to that?
Yeah, I can go into a room and know if something's there. I don't know how I know, but I just can sense it. And sometimes I feel like a cold spot. Sometimes I just know they're there and sense them, and then I'll use an EMF or say there's something there. Going like we was at one place and we was up in Liverpool in a cinema, and I said to another ex-team, and they're up north somewhere. And they was with us, and I said, "Over there, don't seem right." And he took a picture, and when he took the picture, it was like on a camera thing, and he showed me back this thing, and there was an orb, a blue orb, where I told him there was something there, clear as anything.
But it is a hard thing to explain. You know, I've been asked a couple of times, "How do you do it?" I said, "Well, I can't tell you. You know, I can't explain it. It's just you see it up here." As I've seen many a time in lives, it started out with me that way back before mobile phones were invented. If a landline rang, I could tell you who was phoning, and you know, it used to freak my ex-wife out because that's your mum on the phone. So how do you know it is? No. And you know, she said, "How did you know that?" I said, "I don't know. I just knew it was your mother on the phone." I called her something else, you know, I'm just being polite for the life. I didn't say your mother. I said it was a mother-in-law kind of thing, you know. So you can imagine what I would call her. But however, that's a whole different story. That's a whole different life. I
mean, there's another thing I can sometimes do, and it's a bit weird. I know something's going to happen. Do you know what I mean? Or I can say to a friend of Angie's like, no, they're going to act like that. They're going to exactly do that. And when I say it, they actually do it. And it's weird. And I don't know why. And I can't understand why. But maybe someone will probably tell me one day, like, you know, these mediums might tell me. My friend Nick Sage, he's a very good medium. And that's why I go up there with him sometimes. And he picks up on things. But I can. Now too, I don't know why, but ever since that spirit touched me or grabbed my head, which is weird. But I want to get into more paranormal and get more evidence, like we all do. It's whether they believe
it. Kirsty, they do say the best equipment out there is yourself. No, it's Kirsty. You know, I mean, you've got. I'm a big gadget man, as I've said in the past. You know, I really don't use. I don't use a lot of gadgets because I don't know how to use them. Actually, dog, to be honest with you, don't have a clue. And
the best thing you could ever use is you don't even need gadgets. Sometimes you can like some people do. You can use your table and do table tipping. I'm not that really into table tipping. Some people use a Ouija board, or the best thing is knocks. Tim said it on your show. Yes, is it yesterday? Yesterday, yeah. Tim, no, on Sunday. No, Saturday. Tim on Ghost UK. He said with the knocks. Yeah. See, I picked up on that, Arthur, because I watched that show, even though from my own home. And I said, there's a person called Arthur now. I couldn't get the name low. I did not get the name low, but I just had this Arthur. And then I didn't know like they had World War II stuff in that place, especially Dad's Army stuff. And then it started with the knocks, with the Arthur low. And that was really good.
I watched that. Was a good one. That was a real good one. It's Laura. What does a blue orb mean? Every time my son gets his photo taken, a blue orb appears in the photograph. It's fact, now don't quote this as gospel, Lord, but as far as I'm aware, a blue orb is meant to be a kind of guardian angel, a spirit guide, a guardian angel kind of thing. So it's possible that.
Yeah, I don't think it's a bad one. It's a red orbs that I've been told you've got to look out for.
Yeah, blue orb is nothing to be. It's nothing negative.
No.
But I'm sure it's like an angel spirit guide. So it's somebody guiding them or looking after them. You know, so that's a good thing. That's a good thing. It's nothing to freak out about.
Is it a nan by any chance, Laura?
Sorry, buddy.
About her with a nan. I don't know if it's right or not, but I see a letter M. If that means anything.
Does the letter M mean anything to you, Laura? Laura's part of our team, so is Shelley. She's part of our team as well. You've met Sarah. Andy Murphy's won this week's lottery numbers. Can you tell him name?
Number 7. Try that one. I keep getting luck with scratch cards at the moment. I do them sometimes. A bit naughty on them, but I get luck on them.
No, I don't. I'm not a gambling man at all. But Laura, if the letter M means anything, to put in the comments, though, please.
Yeah, so I can't see no comments. I can't see who's on at the moment.
I can put the comments up. The paranormal can interfere with technology in some situations to feed off the energy, and I like to follow my gut feel.
Gut feel is the best one to do.
Yeah, I totally agree with Kirsty. You know, I've always said that your best tool, your best instrument is your own senses. Definitely. Shelley Wayne says, good evening. It's good to see that you're back on.
Thank you, Shelley. I can't see who's on at the moment. But my sitting over there, she's watching it, Angie. Hello, Angie. I don't know if my sister Michelle is. She said she was going to be on, but I don't know. And my sister is going to be part of my little team as well. She came with me and she's been up to Liverpool a couple of times with Nick. And we've been out on a ghost little hunt. And one night, we was going to go live early, but we got locked in a churchyard. And the gamekeeper came in, locked the gates up so we couldn't get out, and it was a big spiky gates.
No, you don't want to be climbing over these things. I've heard they can hurt if you slip. You know, yeah. So no. Avoid
and we got locked in for 3 hours until the fire engines come out and delivered. And then the following year, we was with some friends and we went and showed them the church, and Nick went inside. And lucky enough, we was all going to go in, but we didn't. And the bloke on the bike turned up with the keys to lock up. So I made him put the chain round, and we round the corner to let him know we locked him in for a minute. Bit of deja vu. But we nearly got locked in again. And that was in Chester. Now, Chester's good for ghost hunting. You ever want to go to a place, go to Chester.
Chester. We're big followers. We're friendly as well with Haunted Hunts, and their second season featured Chester, and that was amazing. There's quite a lot of good locations there. Laura's saying, I always thought it was his gran watching over him. She died 6 weeks before my
school. I picked up on. And then? That's exactly what I picked up on. What was her? No, actually, don't tell me her name. I'll see if I can come up with her name. But I still see a letter M, if that means anything, Laura. But Nan, yes, definitely. I did say that.
Andy saying, Scott, normally I'd say the hair. You've lost me in that one, Andy. Normally I'd say the hair. I don't know. Explain that. I don't know what that one means. I don't know. Kirsty's Andy's partner, Andy's wife. Blue Orbs is spiritual associated with psychic energy and truth. So it's nothing. It's nothing negative. Now, you live near Hampton Court Palace.
Yes, I do.
As I've said many a time on our lives, I am Sarah's as well, a massive Tudors fan. Always have been.
Yeah, I know you are. Well, when you come up this way, I will take you to. because I know a couple of haunted spots. Because I went in there with me and Nick and my sister Michelle, La Michelle, and I think there was a few others that came with us. And I took an EMF. You're not supposed to film when you have to get permission to film.
Mm-hmm.
I know this, and I filmed in. They have got a booklet there that you can take round, and it tells you all about the Tudors and where they spirits are. But I didn't. We didn't take the leaflet, but I picked up on 2 spirits in there, and one was on a staircase, and it turned out it was Queen Mary. Queen Mary's. I think it was Queen Mary. Which one was it? Yeah, Mary Queen of Scots. It was her staircase that was designed, that she wanted designed and built, and the EMF went off on them stairs, and the other place went off, and then there was these like 3 fireplaces in this hallway, and there's no near electrical stuff or anything else goes off again, and I mean full on red, and it was only in this one spot. Move away, go back to spot, go off again. There was nothing underneath, it's all wooden floors. There's no electrical stuff there for it to go off. And I didn't have my phone on me. My missus had my phone, so all I was holding this EMF, and it went off again. And there was another place they reckon was haunted. I found out later when we took the leaflet home with us. That was weird.
I wish you say hi to Angela and Michelle. There's Laura answering back. Her name was Maggie.
Maggie, there you go. Wow, I said him. There you go.
Well done, young man. There you go, Laura. I hope that helps you a wee bit. And
so now you know it was Maggie. There you go. That is Maggie.
So that's who's round it. That's who's about.
I can see her cooking. Another thing, she's just showing me about cooking. Or there's something she used to cook that you used to like. I don't know.
There you go. You get stuff like that, and obviously this is the first time we spoke to you, Wayne. Laura's one of our team, and she's a close friend of yours as well. And you've
really?
never ever.
I hope that it's something for you, Laura. There you go. Never knew.
I know a lot of people try to debunk stuff, which I find is important debunking, but
I can't debunk that because I don't know her from Adam or Eve.
That's exactly what I was going to say, buddy. You've never met Laura in your life.
No.
Say this is the first time you spoke, kind of face to face, kind of thing, and you got the letter M bang on. So people can try and debunk it, but I don't see how they could debunk that. So that is a big thumbs up for me. Amazing. We'll see if she was did you say cooking? You're picking up something with cooking as well?
Yeah, about cooking. I get to show me cooking.
Maybe she enjoyed cooking, whatever. But Hampton Court's always fascinated me because of the Tudor connection to it, because obviously it was built by Cardinal Wolsey, way back in the 1500s, and he gave it to Henry to try and save his own neck, but it didn't work, and just the amount of history. It was, of course, Henry's kind of play palace. It was well known.
Yeah. And they reckon Anne Boleyn haunts there as well.
Yeah, she's meant to be seen on
they've had pictures. If you go into Hampton Court, you will see that they have got some, where people have caught images of spirits.
Mm-hmm.
It's getting people to believe that it's real is the hardest thing. That's the hardest thing of being in paranormal thing, is once you've got evidence, is proving the evidence or getting people to believe it. That is the hardest thing about paranormal.
You can only show what you've picked up or what you've captured, and then it's down to people to believe or disbelieve it. Laura, we quick comment for Laura there. I'm in awe. Thank you for the clarification.
That's all right.
And here's a question for you from Kirsty. Have you ever picked up on any bad energy out on an investigation?
Yes. Where was it? Denby Asylum. There you go. You're not supposed to be in there, but if you can get in there, and a figure in black, And actually, I wasn't the only one. A friend of mine, Michael Hatton, was with us, and Nick Sage Hughes, and he picked up on his black figure, and I just didn't feel right. It didn't feel nice, and he actually got a picture of it. He's actually got a picture of it. He did show me, but it's on his phone. But it just something really dread. You just felt dread, horrible. And then also I heard twice of a young girl crying really clearly. And I mean, not. I think she wanted me to help her in some way, but I need to go back to help her.
Here's another.
Absolutely sobbing all right. And it's not once. I've experienced that twice. There you go. Cook every day, home cooked meals. I can see her cooking and being happy. I think it's just a message to let you know that she's around. And so it's not, if you pick up on her, it's her around. And the blue orbs is what I think is, I believe is it's like I think it's relatives or someone that you knew. I really do. I believe in that now. From other people, what other people have said or how they react, and I'm still in a learning curve. I've got a long way to still learn, in about the paranormal stuff, and I will still learn new stuff. That's why I listen to groups like yours. Yours is a good group, a very good group.
Thank you, buddy.
I've got my own little group. I call it a group, but I've got my own page, which is Ghost Hunt. I'll get it right in a minute. It's the page. I think you've seen my page, Ghost Hunt videos and live streams and advertising ghost hunts, and I get loads of people from all over the world now that go on there, and some of it, like there's some in Thailand and they speak in Thai. I can't understand what they're saying, but they're doing ghost hunts. And
I think Sarah can put your page link up in the chat so other people can so chat can go and have a wee look and follow it. But just as the paranormals, I think that's another reason I enjoy paranormal, because you get these people out there that say, I'm an expert in the paranormal, bollocks.
I still learn.
There's no such thing. I've said this many times, and I stand by what I say. There's no such thing as an expert. You can have more experience than somebody else, but it doesn't make you an expert. So anybody claims to be an expert, hooting nanny, as they say in Scotland. A couple of comments here, buddy. I'll put them up. One's for Andy. It's about the hair comment he made earlier. He's going to finish it off for us now. Sorry, mate. Laptop died. My comment was, I believe in the body being first detector, and usually hairs would stand up on end. But Scott, you're screwed in that respect. Thank you for that, Andy. Thank you, buddy. You're on with very soon, I believe. It's called payback. Just wait and see. Come up, Mr. Murphy.
Yeah.
Here's one question for Shelley. Shelley's in our team as well. What's your favourite type of properties to investigate?
Right, let me think. Where's it? There is one house, and this is in a place called Ellesmere Port we went to. And it's in a house, and it had 3 spirits in it, and one was a little girl, which I picked. There you go. Nick was filming outside one day. I've not been up there then, not been near here, and I picked up on a little girl dying. Got run over by a horse and cart, and it turned out it was true. Little girl was killed outside by a horse and cart, outside her own front door, years and years ago. And I picked up on her in this house where she lived. That was freaky. But but there was a nasty one in there. There was I could see a red orb all the time, and it was, I think the husband was the horrible. It wasn't nice at all, and you can feel that.
Still hanging about, quite possessive, and it was his way or no way. Basically, the husband. Would you say?
Would say that again?
The husband, you were talking about the red dog could be the husband. He was kind of very possessive and it was his way or no way.
Yeah, it was him. Definitely
Yeah.
him. And then the wife was afraid of him because the wife came through as well. There was another one we did in a pub, which is a good place, and this was in Chester. A friend of mine, Michael Hartshorn, his pub, and it's actually I've got it. Oh, these on video. So if you ever go onto my thing, I do put them up, and I do watch parties so people can watch them. I know at the moment I can't get out and investigate, but there is a few places I'm going to investigate when we get back. But you're going to come up here, and I'll take you to Hampton Court. There's another place I'll take you to in Brooklands. I'll take you to Jack the Ripper. It'll be a good one, and Highgate Cemetery.
But that's part of our plan. We want to do Whitechapel and Highgate, you know, because I think it'd be fascinating.
Yeah.
I'll just get back to the wee side. Michelle's got a question for you. I'm trying, because I'm on my own tonight, Wayne, I'm trying to catch the questions as well. Usually Sarah does this. But
yeah, my sister Michelle, she was with us when we done the one in Hersham. We did one in a cemetery, and Sue became ill. But I picked up on, me and Nick, we picked up on two spirits, one called George, and I kept saying, I'm buried under a tree. And I don't know why I'm under a tree, but I'm buried under a tree. And we'd never been in the cemetery. I'd not been in this little cemetery before. And underneath this tree was a grave. And on the grave was George. Then I picked up on another one. I kept saying Ellie. And I thought, no, it's not Ellie. It sounds like Elsie. And I kept saying Elsie, Elsie. And when we got up to the end of the graveyard, on this thing that I was drawn to, we walked up to, was the name Elsie. But it affected Sue, and she wasn't herself. And so you had to walk out the graveyard, and you had to, you know, do a thing to take any spirits off of her. I've been back there again since, and this spirit on this, I had this, you know what a voice box is, don't you?
Yeah.
And on this voice box, I haven't got no Wi-Fi, but it'll still pick up white noise. So I can't pick up any radio stations, but I thought I'd try it out. And this woman came through. I couldn't quite understand what she said, but a bloke came through, which I believe was George, and called me crazy. So it shouldn't work, really, because you can't pick up any radio stations. All it's scanning is white noise. But these words came through.
That's a link to your page, I believe, buddy.
On mine? Oh, thank you, Sarah.
So
it probably might be.
Go to Wayne's page and definitely give it a look. As you've seen tonight, people, is genuine, you know, what he did for Laura. There's curses going. Do you think any properties are over? You're getting hit with the questions tonight, buddy. You're earning
I know. Over-investigating. Some are. But then again, the best thing to do is to put people in, different people to go in there and pick up their own experiences. But what would be nice is to find out, to get together and find out if they came up with the same evidence. But you've got to go to somewhere where you don't know, or you've got no idea. Because I like to, when I go to a place, I don't want to know the history. I want to see if it comes up on an investigation. You know, like Derek Okora used to do on Most Haunted.
Mm-hmm.
They used to take him, and then used to turn up, and then that they are fine good. It's like Hampton Court. You already know the spirits at Hampton Court, but it'd be interesting to see if anything else comes up, because it can do. Because spirits must travel. I don't think they stay in one spot.
Well, look at Annabelle. She's been seen at Hampton Court, the Tower of London, Hever Castle, Lincolnton Hall.
There's another place in Staines. I can't remember. It's some hall that Anne Boleyn's meant to visit.
Mm-hmm. Windsor Castle, Rochdale Hall, same as Henry VIII as well. He's been seen. Hampton Court Palace, obviously, Windsor Castle, the Tower as well. So, you know, I don't think they stay. Again, as I say in all the lives, it's just my opinion. I might be wrong. Who knows? That's a good thing. Right. You just don't know. But I know Henry's been seen in quite a number of different locations. Anne's been seen as well. Catherine's been seen as well. The whole thing, the ghost is the only ghost that there's practically no record of. The only queen that there's no record is Anne of Cleves. I want to ask you about that one. If you look at the wives,
Yeah, I don't think she's been picked up there, but I think there was one spot. Where was it? I think it was on Most Haunted, and I think Derek Aura picked her up somewhere. And I think that was where was it now? I think it might have been up Gloucester way or somewhere like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not too sure. But I
Because-
can remember him mentioning Anna Cleves.
You see, I've got a theory about that. I might be wrong, maybe not. But, you know, Henry's 6 wives, everybody knows, you know, and the marriages all ended in various different ways. And there's reports of them all haunting except Anne of Cleves. And if you look back, Anne of Cleves was basically the one wife that came off. She came off the best out of all the marriages because Henry and her stayed close after they separated, after the annulment. And, you know, she got a house, and I think it was like £2,000 a year allowance for Henry. And, you know, he did visit and what have you. So I think maybe there's very, very little records of her haunting because when she did pass, she was content.
Yeah, yeah. Do you think?
You know.
Do you think most of these spirits, when they pass, are not content, or so they stay where they are?
I think there's a number of reasons. You know, one's they're not content. 2, the old unfinished business. 3, they want to maybe try and let a family member, a friend know that they still exist in some form. Another reason, maybe they can't accept that they're past. You know, if it's been, you know, a very, very quick, maybe like a crash or something, you know, a car crash, whatever, and maybe they can't accept the fact that they are actually passed over. You know, and their frame of mind are still thinking, you know, I'm not dead, I'm still alive. And you know, that's my theory. Would you think, Wayne?
See, I loved ones can come and visit you. I do know that, and I know that now with Laura. Is it Laura or Lauren? Just a minute ago. That was a grand come to visit.
Mm-hmm.
So I think one of my relatives, because one night in my own house here, I was like, we had mother and father-in-law staying for a little while, so we slept downstairs, and I woke up one night. I don't know why. Woke up, looked forward, and there was a white figure standing at the end of the bed. Now, when it moved around the side, I put my hand out and I touched the spirit, and my hand was like, it's like putting your hand in pure ice and leaving it there for a second. Then you get that thing. That's how cold it was, and then it just went off. There's another one that. So I'm not being scared yet. Only when I was young, when that first time when I see the spirit at the top of the stairs, and I was only little then, and I froze. And when I did move, I went and sat outside on the fence till my mum came home because she was working, like doing a bit of cleaning at this place at the top of the road, and there was no one else in the house. And then I went back in, and I was all right after that.
Michelle's saying that I've just lost that again. She keeps moving up. She finds out the history, and she doesn't tell you to see if you're right. That's a good way to work.
Yeah, she does. She does that. She's done that to me before, and I just come up with it. And no, but it's like that place in the church we was at with Michelle too. I didn't know the names. I've not been in there. But that's the way I like it, because then if you can find out afterwards. So that's what they do on Most Haunted. They used to have a medium come in, and they go through their little bits, and then they see if it's real or not. You know, if it happened or if it didn't. That's the best way of investigating, I find, because it's not if you know something that's paranormal, it's not proper investigating unless you know, you need to start from raw, from nothing, not knowing, and then finding.
You need to start from scratch, basically. Then that way nobody can say, oh, you know, you've read this, or you had prior knowledge. If you go in blind and you come up with stuff that is true, then people can try and debunk it. You're always going to get people who will try and debunk it. One place you get Hampton Court Palace as well, you get Tower of London, Whitechapel. One place at the Tower of London I would love to investigate is the Traitor's Gate, the site of the old Traitor's Gate.
Oh, yeah. So that'd be
You
a
know,
good place.
I mean, I know the Tower. We all know the history of the Tower of London. Whatever, you know. If you went in there, basically the chances of you coming back out breathing were very slim. Or if you did come back out breathing, you weren't breathing for very long after it. But you know, as soon as you were taken to Traitor's Gate, then you knew what was going to happen. And I think the amount of anxiety and fear that would have, you know, people would have
I
had
bet
just
they must be felt. You must, a psychic medium must, or if they're a medium, must feel them emotions, because you do pick up on emotions. That's another thing I can pick up on is emotions sometimes, and I know. And I guarantee at Traitor's Gate, you will. It wouldn't be nice emotions. I can't see it being.
As I say, you've got the whole tower. I mean, I've been in the tower 4 times. I've been in the tower, and it is an awesome place, you know. And you've got sorry?
I've never been in the tower.
You've never been in the Tower of London?
No.
Never? Oh.
No.
When I first went to London, it was one of the first places I headed straight for. I said, I'm going to Hampton Court in the Tower. I was off, you know. I get the train to Tower Hill, and then just, you know, that was me. I was a happy man. It's an amazing place, buddy. An absolutely amazing place. But as I say, everybody goes into the White Tower and what have you, and, you know, around the grounds. But to actually go to Traitor's Gate, obviously it's not water anymore. It's, you know, it's the water's receded back from it. But to stand there, actually, I think you definitely pick up something.
Yeah, it needs to be. I don't think too many people have investigated there, though, have they? Not properly, because I think you need permission, like you do at Hampton Court. The same, you get permission from the Tower of London for Hampton Court. Did you know that? You have to get permission from the Tower of London. No, I think they're the same.
This custody, a dream of mine is to investigate the original London Bridge in America, as there's a dark side to it. All right. Didn't know that, because see, you learn something every day in the paranormal. You learn something different every day. Michelle is saying you need to come to Scotland. Definitely, he's definitely
we're going to Edinburgh Vaults. I want to do, because there's 2 parts of the vaults, though, isn't there? There's one side and there's another side.
There's vaults.
Burke and Hare used to grab the people out and kill them, and I don't know if that part's true or not. And he used to sell them to the doctor that used to dissect them.
Buckingham. The funny thing about Buckingham is they never actually robbed people. They're down as grave robbers. They never actually robbed a grave. You know, they never actually took a body for a grave. It was they first started off killing in a boarding house that they ran when they came over for the island. So they set up a wee boarding house, and it was one of the tenants that actually passed away, the owed rent, and so they ended up taking his body up to the medical school and selling it. I think it was 12 shillings or something they got for it. And so they decided, you know, this is a good little money earner. And then another tenant passed away, they done the same, and then they took it amongst themselves just to start killing people, basically. In the vaults, there's no actual record of them murdering anybody from the vaults, but they do believe that there was a lot more victims and, you know, that are on record. But I know Burke and Hare were 2 notorious serial killers in Edinburgh. I know Shelley's did. They did overnight in the Nidju. They love to do Mary King's Close in the Blair Street vaults. Sarah and I done the Blair Street vaults, which is quite an experience. That's where the legendary Mr. Boots is meant to, you know, say to haunt there as well. He was a bit a bad guy back in, you know, when he was living. But nobody, you should definitely come up to Edinburgh. You always, and you've got the main Greyfriars.
I've been told about. I don't know if it's right or not, and it's something about a circle in one of the vaults, and if you stand inside the circle, it's meant to be something bad is meant to happen. I don't know if that's right.
No, there is a circle. I'm just trying to remember what we got. I think it's the Nidri Street Vaults. I'm sure it's the Nidri Street
I
Vaults.
thought about it once. About there's a bad room, and I thought the circle, and then I'm sure someone said about a circle in there.
It's a stone circle. It's in one of the rooms, and it's meant to be a legend. You know, if you stand in it, then some negative is going to attach itself to you. But you know, possibly just. I've never been to the Nidri Street Vaults. I've been to the West Street ones. But that could just be a story. It's the same as a legend of, Greyfriars Bobby outside Greyfriars. You've got the famous statue.
Greyfriars. Yeah, that's another place I want to visit.
Yeah. Oh, we've been to Greyfriars. Don't have that's our favourite location. But I mean, the legend is the statue outside the cemeteries of the Greyfriars Bobby, if you rub the nose, good fortune will follow you. But then there's another side that says if you rub the nose, bad fortune will follow you. So you don't know which one to believe. There's Sarah. Everybody knows Sarah. She's my other half. That's the night we went. That's the night when I was in the first room.
There you go. First room absolutely drenched. Then next room was fine, drying. So strange. Yeah. There you go. Different feelings in different rooms.
But there's no in the vaults. There's no ventilation in the vaults or anything like that. So it was a very, very weird feeling. Why the temperature would just change all of a sudden. Yeah. Reason. No drafts, no nothing. There's Laura. My husband and I visited Mary King's Close years ago on our honeymoon and had a few experiences.
There you go.
Yeah.
I've got to come up there again. It's been years since I've been up to Scotland, since the army days.
We're dying to get back to Edinburgh. Be military, I'd love to investigate Edinburgh Castle and the site of the Lone Piper Plays.
Yes. There's the Briars. Where is it called? There's a place I want to visit, and I've got to try and remember it now. And it's where the Briars Lair is. Do you know what that is? And it's in a castle, and it's by the sea. And they reckon there's a legend of a piper that went through this tunnel, and it was meant to be witches years ago that was in there. And then this Briar went in there to play the pipe, and he was never seen again. But you can hear this pipe being played. I can't think of where it is. Coleshill Castle, I think it's called.
No, that's Edinburgh. What happened was, it was renovation work on the castle. It was getting done 200-300 years ago, and they discovered a tunnel. That headed down the direction the Royal Mile. Nobody knew this tunnel existed, so it was. Now, there's two stories. One is it was a piper, the other one is it was a drummer boy. But one of them volunteered to go down, and so they said, "Well, you go down, play your pipes, and we'll follow you for the street." And so the guy started to go into the pipes, and then all of a sudden stopped. They went down to look for him, and there was no sign of him. They couldn't find him. And they still say this day, it's usually night time when it's quiet. You can sometimes hear the sound of bagpipes. I reckon this is where it's coming from. Just catch up with his comments. But there's one for Shelley. Most people I speak to have experienced Mary King's. Sam and I had a side between us both. Shelley's actually quite good photographs when they went to the vaults. Anthony's saying, I've been to York. We used to stay in the Wagon and Horse. It was a pub place which you just turned on. I'd love to go to York. I would imagine that'd be quite good for investigations.
And Andy is a friend of mine. We're fellow DJs because my other thing I do is I'm a DJ.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what Anthony does. He's a very good DJ, Anthony Keywood. We DJ together a few times.
I've just noticed the photo. He's got, I don't know, is that horns? He's got his chat.
That's one note. We was doing a wedding, me and Anthony Keywood. And this was his place in, I don't know if you can remember it, Anthony, and it was in Staines somewhere, and it was for he got married, and we did a disco there, and I told this girl, and it was one of the I think it was Mary Queen of Scots. I think that stayed there, and I picked up in the top behind us, up in this little galley, in this hall of her spirit. I don't know why, and I found out that there was a spirit up there. Or they reckon it's been seen a couple of times, and I didn't know. That's meant to be true. Anthony, you was there. Anthony was there on that. He should be able to tell you because I told a couple of the staff, which freaked one of them out.
Hopefully, really, Michelle, so we'll have to come to the castle. You know, by all means, come up, Michelle, after the restrictions are over, whatever, and stand in the Royal Mile. And you never know your luck, doll. You might just hear it. There's Sarah's got a wee question for you, ain't? Do you use any equipment or so? What's your favourite piece to use and why?
See, my basic, I still use. I don't know. I still like the. I know it's hard. I think to believe in if you can't be near electrical stuff, and that's like an EMF. I like EMF and REM pods still. Don't know why, I just do. I like using them. I've used dowsing rods. I've got one on dowsing rod. You got to really believe the person isn't forcing the dowsing rods and making them move. But I've got one on one of my videos, and this was in the pub in Chester on a dowsing rod, and we picked up on a young boy, and I said to Sam like he died in this place, but there was another bloke that was holding him there, and this bloke was a spirit too. And then we got told afterwards this bloke had killed this boy in the pub and held him locked into this little cupboard in this room. And every time I said point the dowsing rods to a different person, it moved to that person. And I couldn't. It's got like wooden handles on the rods, so I couldn't hold the metal to turn it because you can't. And I couldn't really steer them because people were watching it. So I was doing my hands very still, but one of my hands was stone cold, and the other one was just warm. And another thing I pick up on spirit is my back goes cold. Don't know why, but it's cold.
You see, I've seen many people using the dowsing rods, and no disrespect to them or anybody else, everybody's got their own kind of thing. But you do, I know I do wonder a lot, are they actually just moving them, or are they moving them? Do you know the rod's moving themselves? It's just, as someone's always.
You'll know.
As Michelle saying,
I wouldn't think, as an investigator, I wouldn't pretend to do something if it wasn't there, because it wouldn't be. I wouldn't feel that it's not investigating. It's not real. I want there to be something there. I've been to investigations and nothing's happened. Nothing's happened at all. And other times something can happen. You just don't know.
Well, that's why we say quite a few times it's like fishing. It's like going fishing, basically.
Yeah.
You can sit for hours and get nothing. Love a witch. Maybe that's because Michelle's a...
Yeah, she's a hedgerow witch. I really don't know what a hedgerow witch is, but I think it's spells and potions, but she does do that, yes.
I've never heard of a hedgerow witch. So can I get back to just Hampton Court again? I mean, obviously you've been in the haunted gallery. What's your, did you pick up anything there? When I was in the haunted gallery, it was an atmosphere, a kind of peace.
No, I didn't in the haunting gallery. There was one other room, and I felt like there was someone pacing up and down the hallway. Don't know why in this room, just constantly pacing up and down. And that's all I could pick up on it. And by the stairs, and then in that hallway.
Also, the haunted gallery is with Catherine Bowers over to broke free for her guards, and to try and reach Henry. But I felt it was quite a peaceful atmosphere in it. But
what I'll try to do is get us in one of the rooms there so we can do our own little investigation for a couple of hours.
Yeah, I've spoke to Charlotte Underwood, and she's definitely going to come over as well.
But there's another place I want to take you to, and it's called it's Brooklands Racetrack. If you get time to, and it's if you look it up on the history of it, it's used to be a Formula One racetrack years ago, and it's where one of and it's got like banking all the way around. You know, you've seen the banking racetracks, and a couple of drivers was actually killed there. One went off the side and he got decapitated, and I picked up on another one that was burning, which happened, and it's a very famous old racetrack, but the planes used to fly in and out of there as well, RF planes. There's an underground bit there as well, and it's you can walk all the way around it. It's good. It's a good place. It's meant to be. It's pretty noted that it's haunted. People have seen things.
There's one place I'd like to go. I don't know if you know, but I'll try and describe it as best I could. It's, as I said to you before, my mate, he stays in Putney, and there's you've got Richmond. You know, you can walk from Putney to Richmond, and there's a small forest. That's the best I can describe.
I'll take you into Richmond Park. That's the place you want to.
There's an old graveyard in the forest.
Oh, I've heard of that.
Because we were walking through it, and I saw, and I remember saying, I says, that's a headstone. He says, I know this is a graveyard, but it's right in the middle, you know, kind of like a housing estate kind of thing, and you probably walk through every day and you wouldn't notice. It's roughly halfway between Putney and Richmond. I'd like to go there because I think that'd be quite an interesting place.
I'll have to find out where that is. I'm not too sure on that one, but Richmond Park's a good one to do things. And there's a next door to Hampton called Bushy Park.
It was just the sheer size. The first time I went to Hampton Court, it was just the sheer size of the place. I mean, I've seen it in the telly, but it's absolutely massive. You know, totally. Big. Shelley's got another question for you, buddy. Here it comes. You say don't get scared. But has there ever been a time you've been overwhelmed?
Overwhelmed. Denby. And it was one stage we took a gentleman with us, and he's a bouncer. And he's a big guy as well, and he sort of don't know. He got because Denby's a very scary place. If you've ever been, it is lots of. It's you're not supposed to be there really, but if you can get in, it's one scary place. It's got its own. We was in the church bit. They've got an underground bit that goes out under through the church. It's got the mortuary which we went in, but. He got hysterical. He started getting hysterical when, as in, it started getting me worried because I've never seen a person get so scared or go into a panic mode. Pure terror. So he just seeing everything coming through him from every direction. But I know there was witchcraft there where we were standing as well, and that sort of got me a little bit on edge. But then again, he wouldn't go in any more of the buildings, so me and Nick went into one of the buildings on our own, and Michael had to stay with him to calm him down. And he would not go back into any more buildings, and we had to go home early because he was just couldn't do nothing.
Have you ever went to a location and before you've even entered it, thought, you know, this isn't a good idea and turned about?
No, because then I've always wanted to go in. Anything that's that's scary it's got to be done. It's like the place I'm looking forward to going to is Derby Gold, which is Richard Felix place, which I'm gonna get, and I'm gonna get some different investigators invited in with some equipment, stay there the whole night and see what we can come up with.
Like you see that he does that.
Richard Felix I'm going to get Richard Felix on that as well to get him involved. I
like Richard Felix. Obviously, he came from Most Haunted, but he does his own thing now on Facebook and his TV as well. I watch quite a wee bit of his stuff. I like to watch his lives as well when he does his wee ghost stories. I always find him an easy guy to listen to.
Yeah, He does. I think it's twice a week. He does his little live things. One's like he does ghost stories, and one he does. It's all about Tudor and history. On one night, he does that, and but he'll always come in, and if you want him to help investigate, because a couple of people I've known now have gone on, and he's come in and investigated with them in his own place at Derby Gold. He's come to that one. That's a place you'll get a bit scared of, going in a little cell on your own in the pitch dark. That one will get me a little bit going.
If possible, buddy, I will go. He's a hard man to get a hold of. I've been trying to get a hold of him, actually, and he's a hard man to get a hold of.
I'll send you can talk, get hold of him, because you're like we're on the same thing, aren't we? On Para Unity.
Yeah,
and that's a good little thing, Para Unity, because that's a place you can go onto, and you can just chat all from different groups. I know I've spoke to you on there, haven't I?
I try to make in a chat room every day. You know, to say hello and a wee bit of chit chat. I've spoke to you on there a couple of times, buddy. But he is a hard man. I've been trying to get a hold of him, but I have more chance of growing, you know, long hair or something.
Because I've spoke to him through when he was doing on his chat show, and then I've sent a message to him, so I'll have to send you it.
If you can send the details, and I definitely, because as I've always, even though he was connected to Most Wanted, I've always liked listening to him whenever he came on, because I used to watch Most Wanted religiously, you know, way back years ago. And whenever Richard Felix came on, that was me, you know, just going to the telly to listen to what the guy had to say. And I listen to him on Facebook, you know, when he tells the stories and what have you, and he really is he's a fascinating guy. And I'd love to be able to get a hold of him.
He's a genuine guy, because I think he's the one that really, you know, he's out for the real truth as well. You know what I mean? In the paranormal thing, he's just that down to earth. Like there's no, he's, how can you put it? He's genuine. If he says he's seen it, then I believe he's seen it. If he ain't, he wouldn't. I don't think he'd want to say, you know, oh, did you hear that noise? When he hasn't, you know what I mean?
Well, at the end of the day, that's what we want the paranormal, just to be genuine. I know there's a lot of people out there that will just make up stuff and what have you, and if they're asked to comment and things, I know they'll just, you know, even if they know nothing about it, they'll just waffle on for 10 minutes, you know, and to me, that's not what it's about. If you don't know about something, and just say, look, I don't know. There's nothing embarrassing about saying I don't know. You know, you're not making yourself an idiot. You're making yourself sound truthful, and that's what the paranormal needs. Genuine people who, you know, can stand up and say, look, no, I don't know. I never heard anything. We went here and we never seen anything. You know. Yeah.
Nick Sayers was like that. He was genuine. Tim out of Ghosted UK, he's genuine.
Oh, Tim's brilliant. I spoke to Tim.
Yeah. I spoke to him just before I come on here. Actually, he was having a conversation. Then I stopped because I had to come on the show. Well, try to get on the show first of all.
Well, but we got you on the show anyway. He's coming back. Tim's coming back because he gave me a load of videos, and unfortunately the other night we didn't have time to play them. So he is coming back to go over the videos that he gave us. But Andy, where'd it go? Andy's got a question as well here in the chat. We heard of Eden Camp in Yorkshire.
Eden Camp? No, I don't think I've heard of Eden Camp. No. What? That's a new one. I've not heard of that. Can't say I have.
No. Anthony's saying... I mean, can you tell us where it is? And I don't have a clue where it is, buddy.
Ripley Beach is a good place.
I've never ever heard it.
Come on, me, Anthony.
Sorry, in the UK. That's the thing about the UK. There's that many places to visit, to go that people haven't been. You know, I think a lot of teams, not disrespecting them, a lot of teams tend to stick to the same locations. Everybody goes to the same place. You know, all the time. You know.
I like to go to new. That's why I don't mind when I got to see Nick in Liverpool. I went up. We went to a few places. We did a one in an abandoned zoo and picked up on a bear. They kept moving about, and this black thing kept moving about in this corner. I believe it was in a bear pit, so obviously it wasn't. You can only beat a bear, but it was weird.
I know we tend to go to Greyfriars a lot, prior lockdown kind of thing. We always, because it's just one of the places we love. We've always loved it, we always will. Yeah. And the first place we're going after lockdown. But we've got a lot of different places lined up, no doubt, same as you have as well, Wayne. Places people have never been,
Yeah. There's a couple of places I'm going to do some live ones this year. I'm going to do the Jack the Ripper. I'm going to do a little live thing up there, and like, if you come to Hampton Court, I'm going to do a little live one there. I've got another one to do at Brooklands. I've got one I'm going to try and get into. It's the Catacombs in Paris. If I can get live inside there, will be brilliant.
It was the most haunted, I know, prison award camp in Malton. Lots of old artifacts brought together. I know there are a couple of old
places around there.
I think there'll be a lot of history around there.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, I want to go where I want to go up and down the country and do. I want to go to Pendle Hill, another place I want to go to where the witches were. There's another one in where is it? Near Salisbury, and it's got Aylesbury Stones. Is another place I want to go and do one. A very famous pub there that's very haunted. I think most haunted have been there. I've got another one up the road from us in is it Colstead? And it's the Ostrich Inn, and that's another one most haunted did. And it's a lot of murders took place in there. And it's another place that's not far from me. I'm going to go and try and do it. Colnbrook, that's what it is. Another place I want to go and visit and do. I'm going to do quite a few lives when I can this year, but all different places.
Oh, we've got quite a lot. We've got a 3-day visit to Pendle planned for after. That's the first place we're going. Is Pendle? We're doing 3 days down there. With different teams. Danny Moss is coming up. Charlotte's coming over as well, and Simon Entwistle was going to join us. So we love Pendle. I've always had this fascination, even though I'm Scottish. I've always had this fascination for Pendle. Don't know what I can't explain it, but it's it's
Pendle.
Don't know what Kathy's saying Jack the Ripper is good. She's been there because we had Richard Jones on. Simon was on as well, doing his Jack the Ripper stories as well. And,
I popped in and said hello.
He was really good, with no disrespect to the victims. But, it was really, really fascinating, the whole Jack the Ripper story. Plus the fact he was never caught. Kathy also said Oxford Castle is very active. Part of the old jail is now a hotel. There you go.
Oh, that'd be a good one.
That would be a good one. The Ostrich in Colebrook is very haunted. The Ostrich in Colebrook is very haunted.
Yes, that's the one. Colebrook, the Ostrich Inn, that's the one I'm going to go to. And it's only just up the road from me.
Yeah, Shelley's got an interesting question. Something I've never actually asked before as well, Shelley. So, has anybody ever investigated Stonehenge?
Not very many, no. That I know of. I've not seen no one do a live up Stonehenge, so that'd be a good one.
That would be an interesting.
I think it will be, because there's bones all buried around there. They found, didn't they? Because I think Stonehenge was part of a burial site. Because there's another place further away from Stonehenge that's got stones like it.
I've seen that.
Archaeology 3. So there's another place as well that's got stone markings.
I remember watching a documentary done, and they tried to recreate Stonehenge. It was these modern day engineers, and they tried to recreate Stonehenge using what they thought would have been used back in the time, like ropes and wood. And these guys couldn't do it. They gave up. They were trying to build one of the, the archways. They couldn't. They go to two uprights, but they couldn't get the top bit on. And these were modern day engineers, and they said we've no idea how they managed to do it. And it's still an actual big mystery. Chelsea Dam. There's me giving my ideas away now.
It'll be good if you come to London, because I'll take you to Hampton Court. Definitely Hampton Court.
Me and
Nick tried to get in there once, and they were a bit funny. But now I know someone that I can actually help me get in a little bit better. So, which is even better.
The only thing I never liked about Hampton Court, maybe it's because I'm Scots, I don't know, but when we go to pay for parking, they pay to get in, which was fair enough. But then to go and see the maze, they wanted you to pay and go see the maze as well.
Yeah, that's good enough. Do a little live in there. There must be something in there about the maze.
I thought you need to pay for everything, but it's for anybody who's still been to Hampton Court, if you ever get the chance to go, you need to go, even just to stand in front of it and just think, this is where Henry VIII,
Yeah. See, by the gate to the palace, there's a pub. I think it's called the King's Arms, or where it's called. Now that I know that place is haunted, and it's right on top of the palace.
Mm-hmm.
I'll show you it. If I can get in there to do a little bit of thing, because no one's done it in there yet, and if it's open,
it really is. Even it sits right on the river, and I took a walk along the river, and you think, this is where, I know I keep saying it, but this is where Henry VIII, this is where his boat, his bars, whatever.
Yeah. I can take you to the spot. I know exactly where it was.
And you think all the people, Henry, Anne Boleyn, the lot of them, walking off a boat at one point or another.
Yeah. It was the way into London, wasn't it? Up the Thames.
That was it. That's how they travelled. It was on, I think they very, very rarely went by horse and carriage. I think, it was on the Thames, because all the royal residences kind of sat on the Thames.
Mm.
There was the odd one that was, wasn't near it, but the majority of them.
I think the more thing was, you're not going to get attacked so much if you were on a boat in the Thames, are you? Then get on a horse and carriage going up the route.
That was the main reason behind it back then, because it was less a threat to the king if he was in the middle of the river. You say, going down a wee side street on a horse. They figured, well, he's in the middle of the Thames. He can be, there's less a threat to his life there. And this is how they all travelled. Even criminals that were getting taken to the tower, this is how they travelled. They took them up the river by a boat, hence into, Traitor's Gate kind of thing.
I'm going away for 3 days in May to a place called Weymouth. I'm going with my sister, and we're hopefully going to do a little film in there. And there's a place we're going to go to that's if it's everything's above board and we're allowed to. And there's a place that she knows that's very, very, very haunted, and not many people have filmed there, so that'll be pretty good.
Yeah, well, there's Anthony saying, "Do you believe in aliens or another life force out there?" We don't really touch on aliens, but for the record, I believe there's life on other planets. What it is, where it is, who knows?
Yeah, we can't be the only planet. Surely that's got life on it. The place is not explored yet.
But we're not the only ones out there. But we don't, we don't do the aliens and what have you. Hampton Court is big. It's well big in there. It's a good place to go.
Yes, Andy came with me when we went. That's me wife.
As well, I take it I say it as well big in there. That's an English saying.
Well big.
Thanks, Andrew. I don't mean that in a bad way, Doc. I'm just, once you have Elizabeth I used to go hunting there, and Henry VIII had a house there where one of his missus lived. I think Henry mistresses everywhere, did you know?
Yeah. I've
Yeah.
heard of One Tree Hill, but I don't know where it is.
I've heard it as well, buddy, but it's the same. I don't have a clue. Anthony did a thing on Hampton Court. He said they worked out there was roughly 500 million bricks in the walls that surround the gardens. That would be a job for life.
Yeah.
It is an amazing building, the way it was built.
Yeah.
You know, the brickwork, you know, Forest Hill in London.
Forest Hill, London. There's another place, and I think it's who was the highwayman? Dick Turpin. And the Dick Turpin is another place I'm going to do this year. If you remember the famous Dick Turpin, and it was a place in Cobham, and they used to bury the plague victims there as well. And there was also a murder there, but they reckon he used to ride through this part of this place. We're going to do a little ghost hunting, and I don't think hardly anyone's done a little ghost hunt there or an investigation. And that's another place where I see a spirit of a woman and a child as well. Another one.
He was quite a character. I mean, you know, even the way he was caught was quite, you know, it was his old teacher or something that recognised his handwriting and turned him in.
I don't know. There you go. I didn't know that.
It was there was a comment. I see the face.
I used to work with Dick Turpin. Who said that? I just see that come up real quick.
That's Shelley. She's in our team. Andy can see her face over my right shoulder. I don't know if you're talking about this here, Andy. That if it's this,
I can't see on the other side.
That's a ring light on that side behind the backdrop. You talk about here.
Yeah, it looks like there's a figure there, like a little head on your right side. There, yeah. What's that there?
That's a backdrop.
It's a backdrop then. It looked like a head there.
Just the way the lights on it.
Yeah.
That's a backdrop. And somebody made a comment the other night about this. You can tell I'm great with the camera, Wayne, can't you? Try again. That circle over there. That's a ring that's behind. You know. So that's that debunked. Shelley used to work for Dick Turpin. What happened with Dick Turpin was he was writing a letter, and there was somebody worked in the local postmaster was actually one of his old teachers, I'm sure, and he recognised the handwriting, and he turned him in.
There you go. I never knew that.
And that's how he was actually caught.
Yes, no, there's a convent place in Cobham, and it's got a thing called the Black Nun that's meant to cross the road. My auntie's seen it, apparently. When she was in her courting days, and she went down this little long road. It's a very scary road, actually. There's no lighting down there at all, and it takes you to a convent. And nuns actually live there now. It's a school down there now, but it's a very old school, and it's They reckon the nun comes out the gate and crosses this road. So that's another one I'm going to go and see if we can catch anything, pick up anything.
Shandra's probably Shandra's had nasty swings and also been the roof and William Jack 20 by high. It's funny that he's mentioned Dick Turpin because I'm actually going to be doing a Dick Turpin live about his life and.
Oh, there you go. I'll have to watch that.
His ghost, basically. I just saw these comments with Dick Turpin coming up. Jack is haunted.
Well, maybe if you've got time, and Hampton Court and Cobham is not too far away, I can take you to a place where they reckon he's been seen.
Yeah, I'd obviously get the card, so, if it's selling at the time, then I can, definitely fit in. And at the Cuppers in Burhill Close, the original.
There's also a World War II bunker, and they bury plague victims on there. But I know about the two spirits because I know I see a woman and I think it was a boy then, but I've seen this figure twice, and the other one was at Hampton Court, not Hampton Court, Box Hill, and that was a girl and a woman. Maybe it's just it just follows me about. I don't know. He's never spoke.
But not
yet.
not,
Mum did Wayne.
Wayne.
Yes. Yes. That's about a coach and horses of one of Dick Turpin's to do with Dick Turpin, I think that was. They reckon there's a spirit where you see the coach and the horses and to do with Dick Turpin or something like that. My mum knows more about it than me on that one.
It's a fascinating story with Dick Turpin, same as all highwaymen. You know, Dick Turpin, I think, is the most famous one. That's how I decided I would do a live. I'll just be my face you'll be seeing as well again on the live, you know. I'll be doing it myself. Happy days. Yeah. You know, so nobody will be watching that probably. I mean, I used to work at Burhill Golf Course, lots of history there too, also
Barnes Wallace, yeah. For the bouncing bomb. And that's they reckon he was at Brooklands as well. He was one of them at Barnes Wallace and the bouncing bomb. And they had an airstrip at on Brooklands itself. And there was a plane crash there as well.
Yeah. Seriously, I can get my old boy's outfit. He's furloughed just now, so won't be needed. I don't know what she's talking about. Shelley.
Old boss's outfit. What's the old boss's outfit then? I don't know what.
Shelley Sorella, she used to work for Dick Turpin. So don't have a clue what that means, buddy. I really don't.
Ah. Don't know what that means. From Barnes Wallace from Ripley.
Yeah. Black Bite. Mike Scott. Oh, Dick.
Black. Right. Wasn't that Dick Turpin's horse, Black Bess?
Well, you see, that's what the legend says. That's what the story says. But I've read different accounts. I have been reading up on it, but I've read different accounts that he never actually had a horse called Black Bess. This was just me. I think Bess was something to do with a woman, you know. So I'll need to look for different accounts. And I don't want to do a live on it and come on here and blabber a load of stuff that's not true. Do you know what I mean? So I want to be 100%. Did they have that horse or did they know? Instead of me saying, you know, the horse called Black Bess and you say, run up and down the road, but and it turns out he never, because then I'll just look like a right donkey, basically. Excuse the French. You know what I'm saying? But Shelley can get a Dick Turpin. Maybe she's doing a Dick Turpin outfit, maybe. That's actually not a bad idea. You know what I mean?
Dick Turpin outfit. So when are you going to do that?
I've got that in for next month. I've got a diary with everything in it. I've got that in for next month. It'll just be me that's doing it. But
if you put that out, I'll advertise it on my page for you.
Yeah, we'll be posting about I'll be posting about it anyway, and it will be getting advertised anyway, buddy. So I'm looking forward to doing that. But I would say I'm looking forward to come down to London with you and what have you, and Hampton Court Palace, etc. But I think we're going to. I'll wind it up there just now, buddy. Okay. That's 20 to 11. So, hey, Carol. Sorry, Carol. We're just kind of. Look, this happened last night with Steve. Steve came in just as we were going, you know, and you feel bad. You know, you feel. Sorry, Carol. Sorry, Carol. So thanks for coming in. Wayne, I'll hold on to you just for a wee couple of minutes. Don't you touch any buttons after we come off. Just you sit there. All right. I want to see both your hands. No, I want to see both. So you're not touching anything.
There's one. The other's holding this tablet, so I can't.
That's fine then. So thanks very much for coming in, everybody. We're back here on Thursday night with Caledonia Paranormal Investigators. That's a whole Scottish group. So we'll all try and talk slowly for you because everybody in the panel is Scottish. But thanks very much to Wayne for coming in. We do apologise briefly earlier on. but we got him back, and as you see, he's a fascinating guy and genuine when, you know, we found the Laura. So, you know, amazing, Wayne. Thanks for coming in, buddy. And see, we're back here on Thursday night, 9 o'clock. And until then, everybody, thanks for coming out to chat and stay safe wherever you are. So bye for now, folks.
See ya.